Welcome to the interview, my friends. I'm Jumpin' Joel Flash here with Ottawa rock artist Sabrina Fallah. Welcome, my friend.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. This is my first ever Zoom interview meeting for interview. I tossed the word in meeting because I'm so used to it being a meeting thing. But like first Zoom interview for radio. So I guess
Yeah.
like we're here to commemorate some sort of first
This is the new thing,
the,
Zoom interviews.
the new
Yeah.
thing. Sabrina, you reached out to me looking for an interview. We worked out a time. Here we are. You've been making music for a long time, and I want to get into who you've worked with and your release plans and so forth. But first, in your bio, you say you were discovered on LinkedIn, and this is the first time I've ever heard of such a thing. How'd that happen? Tell us
Me,
about it.
well, all I can remember is that it was like at 10 o'clock at night, and I got this message that somebody was interested in helping me out. And then they told me about a label in Montreal. So we were talking back and forth. And then a couple months later, they signed me. But
Just
I know it's
off the shoulder.
LinkedIn. It's LinkedIn, right?
It's
Like you
wild.
don't see people getting picked up on LinkedIn. It's YouTube or maybe a Facebook thing or something. But LinkedIn, I know I was shocked too.
Well, I hear about people being hired for like HR positions or, like software engineer on LinkedIn, but
Oh.
like book records. But I've not heard that. So you just were discovered on LinkedIn, you got signed to a label, and then you released a compilation CD, the
Yeah,
bonus track called Everything.
yeah,
That was just this
yeah,
year.
yeah. In 2019, yeah,
hmm
yeah.
So your music has been getting played all over the place. Where were you like insofar as creation when COVID hit? Were you planning a new release? Were you working on new material? Were you out and about? Did you have to cancel shows? Where were you at with it when that happened?
I wanted to start to go out to perform,
Mm.
and then everything stopped. But the writing process is still okay. I can do that. But it's the performing because now that I'm being played on some big stations and stuff, I wanted to go out and push the songs that are being on air. But then but it's okay. Everything happens for a reason, right?
It's true. More time to write, I guess. But you mentioned
So we don't know what's coming next.
you mentioned the radio play, and there's a lot of it, and not just here in the States as well. Um, what kind of feedback have you been getting from people? Are they saying, "Hey, you got to come down play here," and then,
Yeah.
nope, you can't. The borders are closed.
No, a radio station in Quebec actually invited me next year to go in to do a performance,
Excellent.
but that's if they're allowed to bring the artist into the studio. But of course, I'll bring my own mic and my own equipment so I don't use it in case for safety. But yeah, I've already been invited to go into the studio with the radio. I've never done it, so it's exciting to go in.
It's like, well, I would have had you into the CKCU studios, except I'm not allowed to go to the university, and neither are you, and neither no one's allowed there.
No
So
one's
we're,
allowed.
we're doing it over the Zoom. I want to ask you about some of these producers that you worked with because
Ask away. Ask
they
away.
themselves have worked with some big names. I'm just going to list them off, the three that you mentioned to me. Kent Wells, who worked with Dolly Parton. Dolly. Oh. Stuart Epps worked with Elton John, Zeppelin, and Twisted Sister, and Chris Burkett, who like Peter Gabriel, Quincy Jones, Buffy St. Marie, and Sinead O'Connor. These like woo! Did you work with all of these folks all at once? Did you collaborate with like one of them on one track and then another on another? Like what was that process like?
Stuart Epps was my first EP. I
Mm,
recorded in England, so I had 5 songs on it. Chris, I did a few songs with him, but I just released the front line with my single. And
cool.
Kent Wells, I wrote 10 songs with a couple songwriters in Nashville, and we chose 5 to record for my Kiss is a Killer album. So um, it was I would go back and work with all of them because they were just so nice and so great,
Mm,
and uh, and I learned a lot from them. But I know, like how I got to Stewart. I was in a class,
hmm
in my college class, producers class, and he was on Skype and he saw me on video and I was raising my hand for all the questions being asked and he wanted to talk to me. So that's how I got to know Stuart. And Chris, and I was in Toronto looking for a producer. I happened to be going to a Songwriters Association meeting and then I met somebody who knew Chris, introduced me to Chris. And Nashville, I found somebody online that I could work with and I just got to catch. So it's just being at the right place at the right time, really.
Well, and network too, but like holy,
And yeah,
holy.
of
So
course.
with like you haven't been able to even perform and like get it on out there, but yet you've recorded in Nashville, in the UK. You're all over the place. That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't like flying, but I'll do it if I have to do it for my music. Like I just, as
For
long
the
as
art.
I stay up in the sky and don't come down, I'm good.
Oh, goodness gracious. So tell us, like, what about a story about your tunes then? Like, because you said that you're influenced by artists like Green Day, Bon Jovi, and Billy Idol. What got you into writing? Have you always written, or is this sort of a new thing for you? Like, tell us all about that.
When I was younger, I would write short stories and poetry. And I think that led me to thinking if I can write that, I'm sure I can write a song
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, a song can be a poem as well. So, and a story, but, but you're singing it instead of just saying it. So
Mm.
yeah, I just started doing it.
Hmm.
Nobody really taught me how to write. I just started doing it myself, and then eventually I started to co-write, and then I enjoy that too, co-writing.
That's fun. Who have you done co-writes with?
um, well, Bill DiLuigi did my co-wrote "Kiss is a Killer" and "Hurt" with me. The one I did in Nashville, Heather Meary, and I did the front line. So yeah.
Okay, okay.
From what I can remember right now, but those are the ones
That's
that are being picked up on the radio. So
it's nice that art's still like at least it's out there for people to love, like you can't tour it,
yeah,
but at least it's out there and people are loving it and getting excited.
but as soon as everything calms down, I'm going.
Yeah.
Let's
You'll have to do
go.
the Canadian tour first before you're allowed to go into the States.
The
Um,
thing is, the border in the States is not opening for a while anyway, so I'll have to do Canada.
no worries. This place is big, so there's
Yeah, I know, right?
plenty of places to drive. So I'm going to play it for you for the radio listeners. A couple of your tunes, and I've asked you to send me a couple of your choices. Why don't you tell me a bit about the songs that we're going to hear?
Oh, you want me to name a few?
Well, no, I guess like "Kiss is a Killer." Was that your latest single, or whatever your
Oh, Kiss is the Killer is the one being picked up right now
Mm-hmm.
on the airwaves.
Yeah.
It's the one I did in Nashville with Kent Wells.
Well, I listened to it and it sounds nice. It sounds like no, it sounds very good.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about that song.
So Kiss is a Killer, the title Bill came up with.
Mm.
So when I walked into the room and we were gonna write, he's like, "Kiss is a killer," and then I'm like, "Kiss is the killer? It kills you?" I thought it meant it kills you at the beginning, but he's like, "No, it's so good, it's so good," So I thought of the Grease theme with the popular guys, that give the best kisses.
Yeah, fair.
So I had the Grease theme in my mind for that song. But I love Grease, so it just came into my mind when I was writing the song.
That's fun. I'm gonna play it for the people. I got one more question about the songwriting. We didn't cover it. So you like started writing poetry, like lyrics, let's say, built into that. And then when you write, like when you go to write the song itself, are you writing on acoustic? Are you writing on piano? Like
Acoustic.
Mm-hmm. Just comes out that way.
My songwriting structure is so, like, the way I write, sometimes the lyrics come first, sometimes the music comes first, sometimes the verse comes first, sometimes the last line of the song comes first. Like it's just, I just write everything down and then I try to rearrange it because I just can't write from beginning to end sometimes. It just doesn't come out like that.
The art comes out of it as, or sorry, the art comes out of us as it comes out, right? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
there's nothing we can do about it sometimes. Friends, I've been talking with Sabrina Fallah. She would be touring right now if it weren't for a certain pandemic that we're all dealing with. But I'm going to play for you a couple of her tunes, including Kiss is a Killer. Sabrina, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.